No, I'm not going to upload that. This thing's all getting tangled. Yeah, you always find, well, it's like football. You always find like bruises and stuff you didn't even know about. All right, so I showed you guys 2 examples as far as solving, right? Right? Yes, 2 examples solving. And all we did as far as the solving was just apply taking the formulas. You could either plug the formula in, or if given the formula, rewrite it as a multiple angle. Now, what we're simply going to do is now we're going to work with angles that are not on the unit circle. So the first thing that we've always did in our trigonometric chapters is when we have an angle, or we need to evaluate for an angle that's not, for a coordinate point that's not on the unit circle, we need to make sure we always create a, rhymes with pi angle. Triangle, yeah, right? This says tangent of u equals 3 over 4. The y over the x, 3 over 4, that's not on our unit circle. So we need to make sure we create a triangle. Now, the important thing about creating a triangle is it has to make sure it falls within the constraints. The constraints are our angle u has to be between 0 and pi halves. So if we're going to go and take a look at the unit circle, remember, if here's 0, here's pi halves. So therefore, my triangle has to be contained within the first quadrant. So now what you guys can see is I have my triangle that's in it within the first quadrant, where my angle u is right here. So I have tangent of u is 3 over 4, which is going to be my opposite over my adjacent. Now, I wasn't being facetious when I was saying this is the easy one, because the reason why I was kind of being like that is we know that this is a Pythagorean triple. So usually, to find the remaining parts of a triangle, you have to apply the Pythagorean theorem. But thankfully, I chose a problem that is a Pythagorean triple, so I automatically already know my hypotenuse is 5. All right? Taylor, are you okay? You okay? Okay. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is I want to do 2 different ways. First of all, I'd like you to evaluate for the cosine of 2u. So by evaluating for the cosine of 2u, there's a couple different ways you guys can go about this. You can look at using any 3 of the formulas really that we kind of set in place for it. Or what you can just simply do is just pick one that's going to be the simplest to use. So the cosine of 2u, what I wrote down is 2 times cosine squared of u minus 1. So now what we're simply going to do is plug in these formulas squared. So I'll have 2. The cosine of my u is, remember, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's going to be 4 over 5 squared minus 1. So now what I'll simply do is I'll have 2 times 16 over 25 minus 1. 32 divided by 25 minus 1. Now, to subtract them, 25 over 25. So I get 32 over 25 minus 25 over 25. And then your final answer is going to be 7 over 25.